So now let's do the dining table. All right, so when you look at the dining table, you could tell that it fits in one chair here, and this chair width is like 45 centimeters. So say 45 here, 45 here. You could roughly assume this whole part to be 1 meter, and this takes in two chairs. So let's say each chair 1 meter, so that would be like 2 meters there, right? So this is just like an assumption of some sort. So, but if you have like a real dining table, you could look up dimensions online for an ideal table or an ideal dining set. All right, so you might want to ensure you work with those dimensions. All right, so when you look at this drawing, you can see we have the tip, the top part of it, and then we have this leg, we have this place and this part, and then just the glass in the middle. Very simple dining, very simple going dining there. So we just do this thickness. I'll call that like 40. All right, so we'll do that like 40, and then I'll double click that and make this make group. All right, so you could tell that if you look at this, you can see that the height is about this is like 100, and about 70% of the height upwards. So let me just say I'll move it up by 75 centimeters. So it'll be just be placed there. Then I could just measure the table leg out. So let me see. I'll make it a square. So I'll do 100 by 100, quite thick, and I'll push that down. All right. Now, though we don't really have much going on there for the legs in terms of don't really have much going on there for the legs in terms of, so let me move this out of there. In terms of making it a symmetric or mirrored leg, but we don't know what we might do later on. So I'm just going to select this, make that a group. All right, make that a group. Then what I would do is I would create something at the middle so I can use it for my flipping. All right, so I'm just going to do something here. All right, do something here, and then do something like that. All right, so I just have that for my flipping. So since I've done this leg, I'm just going to go ahead and make it a table leg component so I could flip it along those axes. All right, so what I can do, I can decide to make these separate entities, or I can just come in this component. I group this as just leg, and then I go ahead and make a support. So I can do a support, let's say 100 by 50, so that will be 50 comma, and then I pull that to the very middle. All right, so but we can see it's thicker than that, so I'll just do that to be extra 50, let it be that thick. All right, so then from here I could select that, make it a group, then I'll do the same for this part. Okay, I'll do from that point to that point, and I'll push that to the very middle, right, to the clips to the middle of the table, right, and I make that a group. Right, so now this is one whole component. All right, so with this, what I could now do now is by the time I start flipping it, so I flip to this other axis using this side with my plus, it flips exact same thing, and I could select both of them, and using the flip tool again, I flip it to the other side, duplicating that, and voila, I've made my table legs. So with this method, I can just go ahead, and if I do an adjustment to this side of it, it will reflect every other place. So, but this is like one way of doing it, right? This is just like one way of doing it. So you could do these things in different ways. All right, so I'll just push this up by 50, and then I just go ahead and I'll do something like this and put this at that point, and I push pull. All right, so I'm just showing you how you can easily use components like this and create some fancy looking configuration, right? So that being said, I can select that face and move it back just a little bit to create some things. So I move it back by let's say 100. All right. Then I can do the same thing for the other side. Do the same thing for this other side. Then I will just come, take my tool, just draw a line through and push through that by 50 and just draw it out. All right, so I didn't really measure it, so I'm just showing you how dynamic you can be with your modeling. All right, so I just clean that up right there. All right, so you see, as I do that, it reflects every other place. So I just go ahead and select this and delete that. Then for the last part of it is, which is the tip, top of the table. For the top of the table, I could just come and I could come for the top of the table, and what I would do is I select the tabletop, then I would, insert. I'll do some insert, good thickness. I think this is just fine. So I'll do 250 insert, the whole value. Then I would copy this, or no, I'll just push pull down to cut that part out. Then I'll come out, and this is tabletop wood, right? That was the wood part. Then I could now draw another one all through, and then I'll push pull that to be the thickness of the table. Then triple click that, select that, and I'll make this glass, tabletop glass, right? With that, I'm done modeling everything. So I could select this, select this, select this, and this, and make that a component. I'll call this my dining table. All right, that's my dining table. All right, so now by the time I turn this off, okay, before I do that, let me just introduce some situation here. All right, so now briefly you now begin to understand why I put this thing here. So let me just quickly turn this, face that side. Now I want this chair to be in that part, so I could just move it by eyes sight, but I can just decide to not do that. I want it to be perfectly placed, so I'm going to place one perfectly by this middle point. Let me take it all the way down, and this side, right, one by the middle point there, and then the other two by this. Oh my. All right, so I'll take this to the middle, lock down to that axis to the middle. All right, so from this point I can do something. Let me just do this. I will take this and I'll place this at that point. All right, place this at this point here, and I would move this to the line, move it till it locks to the line. Then I'll just do a duplicate of it to the line as well, or not necessarily. Okay. Oh, okay, let me do this because I want it to be perfectly placed. So I'll just do something like this. I'll just draw a rectangle. Yeah, I'll draw a rectangle. Let me draw a rectangle like so, and then let me move this away from here. Draw a rectangle like so. All right, so I'll line this from here. Once I draw a line here, a midpoint will appear here. So what I'll do is I'll pick this up from this point and place it on that midpoint. And then I'll take that as well and place it on this other midpoint double. All right, perfectly placed. Then I could now come over here. I could take this one and just copy and paste that, and then I'll rotate it 180 degrees, then take that, put it on this midpoint. Perfecto. And all I need to do now is to flip. So to flip it, I need a surface to flip it. So let me just draw my regular surface for flipping. Draw my surface for flipping. So this part, and just right in this part, I could do this. All right. Now I take these two, and then I click on the flip tool, and I do my plus, and flip it side. I take this guy, do my plus, and I flip to the other side. So triple click that, delete that, and this well, triple click, delete them. So you see why those things are there at the bottom to enable me to do perfect placing. All right. So what I could do still is to move these guys in. I move them in by defined amount, say 350. Then I move these guys in as well by 350. All right. So that's 350. Then this guy as well, I can't move them in all through, so I'll move them to a good point. So that's 200. So I move by 200 there, and I move this guy in by 200. All right, like so, we have modeled a dining table set. Now, the last part of this video, before I go ahead to, because I'm trying to make sure that you get comfortable with everything we are doing. Get comfortable, you blend everything we are doing. All right. So at this point is where we now start doing stuff like to give colors to it, right? So if I should um, just make my stuff look neat. Sorry. Now I have another dining chair going on here. All right. So, but I'm just going to show you a neat trick. Now, because I've made all components I make appear here under the components tab, let me save. All components, both those components, you know, I've been having components inside group and group inside components, you know, stuff like that. So all the components I make, they all appear here. All right. So both the whole components and the non-whole components. All right. So we can see the dining chair 2, and the table component. All right. So all right. So with this here, I just want to get 2 of these chairs. Let me just get 2 of these chairs out. So remember I said once you have created a component, it stays in your this thing. So I just get these 2 chairs out. So what's left now is just the color. All right. So given that this chair had a different color and this one has a different color, we're just going to use one wood color for them both. So simply put, say we have, you know, this is a component now, and we have it like scattered abroad. All right. So I just want to show you something, because you learn the more you watch me do some things. All right. So if I come to material and let me pick a good wood, I think this should be fine. This is bright. This down is dark. So let's go. This one is slightly bright. You notice if I pour this thing, it doesn't affect the other thing here, and that's because the component is what I poured it on, and not inside the component. All right. So, but when I come inside the component and I select all my elements inside the component and I pour that in, see how it affects every single one of those chairs. So I do that for that, and I also do this for this guy. So when I do that, it affects all the chairs here as well, because I edited the content of the component. All right. So now I'll do the same thing for this table. I'll open inside and I'll select everything but the middle part and pour in the wood texture to give us that good wood going on there. Then inside that, I'll select this as well. Then I'll come under this place. Remember, the way you select this wood is by coming to this point. This give you the place to choose the different types of materials. So I selected wood. I use this guy. Then now I want to put in a glass. So I'll look for glass and mirrors. Then I like to use this is a translucent sky glass. So I'll just use that and I'll pour that in to this shape, and voila, you can see dining set is set. All right, so that's looking beautiful already. So one of the things I'll just do now is I'll go ahead and delete every sample thing here. All right, now I would create this as a dining set. I'll call this make component dining set one. All right, you see how I call dining set one. All right, so I want to duplicate it now and make another dining set that has the other chair. So this is, remember I made it a component, meaning if I make an adjustment here, it affects everything. So one of the ways to break an instance of a component, I want to make this a unique component. I right click on it and I come to make unique. All right, so you see it has made it unique. If you come to the outliner, you can clearly see that. Sorry, let me just quickly tidy that up. All right, you can clearly see we have uh, dining set one, and we have dining set one, number one. Right, so I'll just change that to dining set two. All right, so when I come inside this component, what I want to do is, remember I made the other chair and it's a component, so I could just come to my components tab, and given that it's well oriented, I could just come to chair and I'll put on that and say replace selected. All right, see, so I could just do that for, can I do that in group? All right, so with that I just replace all of them, and like that we have two sets of dining table and chairs. All right, that is beautiful, just beautiful. All right, so with this now, if I had an interior scene, I could just import this from my dining set. I could just import this and just put it in there. All right, so that being said, that brings us to the end of this particular video. All right, so thank you so much for your time and for watching, and we have just modeled three different objects within 1 hour 20 minutes. So from the next video we'll begin to model the cabinet. We'll model the cabinet in the next video, and I'm going to record a video that explains how to install all the extensions that we use in this part, and that video you'll find it probably before these modeling videos, but I'm going to do that after recording this modeling video. So thank you so much for your time. If you've loved the teaching so far, if you've gained value from this course so far, please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Please, if you could do this, it's a free course, so one of the things you could do for us or for me is to share and subscribe, and put the like button to help others locate it, to help the channel to gain precedence on the YouTube space. All right, so thank you so much. God bless you and see you in the next one.